So welcome guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Here is a long awaited question. I said I will post for us now. We have indices, further problems on indices. This is the kind of question that leads us to quadratic equation. And I would like us to explain it, but before that I would like you to subscribe, like, comment and share. Now when people encounter this kind of question, I've actually seen this kind of question in further maths 20 and 22 waec. So when students encounter this kind of question, they will see but the question is kind of looking difficult, but it's easy.
So we see, oh God, have mercy.
What kind of question is this? So now let's see how can we be able to break this down into our understanding in an easier way. It's just looking to define it. There is nothing into it. Now let's see how to solve this. Now we have I. We have 2 raised to the power x, 2 raised to the power 2x minus 4 into bracket 2 raised to the power x minus 32 equals to 0. So how do we solve this very question now? You will see that they are trying to trick you. They are trying to trick you because you start each of them just like the former one we solved. This one is under explanation. That normal one we solved that was a bit kind of like this. That was using drawing kind of a principle from what your multiplication law or product law. That is how this one is. So now you will discover that there is 2 raised to the power x here, 2 raised to the power x here. So it's similar. So what we do? We have this raised to the power 2x minus 4 raised to the power open bracket 2 raised to the power x minus 32 equal to what? 0. So now because these things are found, are you getting me, consistently here, what you do is let x raised to the power 2 raised to the power x be equal to any letter. You can choose any letter. Let's see a. Let's say a. So here we have 2 here raised to the power x. Are you getting it now? Is raised to the power 2. I'm changing this now. Here we have 2 raised to the power 2x. Now I bring the 2 outside so that this 2x will come here. Then we have 4 into 2 raised to the power x minus 32 is equal to 0. Remember I said let 2 raised to the power x be a. So I've made it to look in such a manner that I can put a and I substitute a. So substituting what a, substituting what a, we have in the equation we have what a raised to the power 2 minus 4 a minus 32 is equal to 0. So you see it's looking familiar to us now. Just factorization. Very easy. But they are trying to discomfit you by bringing all this into it. So you see that here we didn't change anything because when you multiply these two, you still have 2x. So now let's see how to solve this. Let's use any of the laws. You can use factorization law. We'll have multiplying these two together. If you check my shorts, you will see a big trick to solve this. You will see me now will solve it using that trick very fast. So I would like you to watch my shorts. You will see a brief trick on how to solve quadratic equation when the coefficient of x squared or a squared is 1. Is 1. Now let's see how to solve this. So we'll find any value in which when we multiply them together we'll have this, and when we subtract or add them we'll have this value. So what is that value to? When you multiply it, remember this one is minus 32. Minus 32. Then when you subtract or add you have that. And you discover it's simply what? 8 and 4. 8 and 4. So how we do it is actually minus 8a, then minus 8a and plus 4a. Because when you add these two together, you will have minus 4a. Are we here now? Then when you do this multiplication of these two, you will have minus 32a. So we got that very clearly. So now from here we can now use our normal factorization. From here alone I've gotten my answer. If you watch that shot, you will be able to understand. From here alone I've already gotten my answer. But let's just do the normal way. Then we have using this to replace the problem we have there. So what we have is minus this, then plus 4a, then minus 32. What am I doing now? What am I doing? I'm using these two values. Since these two values is the same as what minus 4a, so I will remove minus 4a and I'll put these two values here. But I'm not just choosing these two values only because they are equivalent to this, but because when you multiply them also, they will give you this multiplied by what? This. So from here we can solve. So take note, everything is equal to what? 0. So here we now find out what is like term. Just like I told you when we solve the quadratic an indices question that look like this, you bring out the like term, and the like term is a. So a dividing this will remain a, dividing this will remain 8. Then from here, what is like term? We will use what? 4. And when it divides here to give you a, divides here to still give you what? 8 equal to what? 0. So because these two are, take note whenever you are solving factorization, these two brackets must be the same. If not, the question, the answer is wrong. So you bring out one of the brackets, and then the ones outside will come together to form their own bracket equal to 0. So we have a is equal to, or let me just go on. We have minus 8 is equal to 0, or a plus 4 is equal to what? 0. So from here, we have that a is equal to 0 plus, because it's coming over here, you can say color like length. So coming over here to become plus 8. Then or a is equal to what? 0 minus 4. So what we have a is equal to what? 8, or a is equal to minus 4. So we all know, as usual, if you have been a good student in your junior secondary school, you will know that right from junior secondary school that when you have quadratic equation, we have positive and negative. The one of the positive is the answer. So ignore the negative. So now, since this is a, and they are asking us to find x, and I know that what this 2 raised to the power x is equal to what? A. And now I now know that a is the positive value, which is 8. So are you seeing it's brought back to the normal exponential that we just concluded now? So you can watch that video on the exponential that I concluded and I posted. So what do we do here? We look for a value that when you raise it to the power of when you raise it to it, and you look for a value that raising to the power of 2 will give you what? 8. Because we must make this base to be equal to this base, the base of that value that we are using here to be equal to this base. So we have 2 raised to the power 3 gives us 8. So the bases are equal. So we can now equate indices. So x will now be what? 3. So what we just did here, we look for a power that when we raise it to 2, it will still give us 8 here, so that we can replace it. Because we want to make these two bases to be the same. Because here is 8 raised to the power 1. It's not the same with this. So that we can equate indices and find what x is equal to. Because whenever the bases are equal, the power are equal. I said that in the previous video and vice versa. So we have the second to solve. I won't go into more details in the second one. So how do we solve this very, very, very question? 3 raised to the power 2x divided by, or multiplied by 3 raised to the power minus 1. Because when you multiply it, you see that is the ideology we use for the former question I did on indices without the exponential, but looking like this. So when you multiply these two, you still have this. Then minus 2 multiplied by 3 raised to the power x minus. Here we can just write 9 is equal to what? 0. Because when we raise it to the power is not that necessary. So from here, you can now say okay, but let me just do a bit soft here. Can make this one to look like this. so that we'll have this one to be like. That is similar between these two. So multiply by 3 raised to the power minus 1 minus 2 multiply by 3 raised to the power x minus 9 is equals to 0. Then from here we'll say let 3 raised to the power x be equals to what? Let's use y this time around. So y raised to the power 2 multiply by 3 raised to the power minus 1 minus 2 multiplied by y. Because we're bringing this into y. Then minus 9 is equals to 0. So this is now becoming very easier for us. So from here, what do? You just multiply. Here means y raised to the power 2 all over 3. That's what it means, because when you bring it back, you still have the same. Then minus 2y minus 9 is equal to 0. What I mean by this is that inverse means 1 all over what? 3. So 1 over 3 multiplying y squared will give you y squared all over what? 3. So what do? Multiply 2 by what? 3. Multiply 2 by 3 to eliminate what? This 3 from here. So when I multiply 2 by 3, I'll be having 3 will cancel what? This 3. So I have y squared multiplying this one by 3 times 3 will give you 6 minus 6y, then multiply by 3 give you 27 is equal to what? 0. So from here we can now easily solve. So let me now see, when we multiply these two together we have 27y squared. So what would you multiply together to give you 27, and when you might not subtract it will give you this. So that is simply what? Minus 27 taking, that would be simply what? Minus 9y multiplied by what? Minus or plus 3y. So when you multiply these two, you have this. And when you subtract them or add them, you have what? This. So replace them as usual. You have this, then minus 9y, then plus 3y minus 27. So from there, what do we have? We have y, open bracket, y minus 9. Then from here, we have plus 3, open bracket, y minus 9. So they are now similar. So from here, I will now have that y is equal to, let me not waste my time here, y is equal to minus 3. Because when you equal everything to 0 and solve it as we did briefly, you have here to be minus 3 and y is equal to what? 9. So we ignore 3 and focus on what? This 9. So what does it mean now? Since I know that 3 raised to the power what? X is equal to what? Y. And my y is 9. So what it means therefore is that 3 raised to the power X is equal to what? 9. So I'll choose a number that when I raise to the power of 3 I'll have 9. And that number is simply what? Is simply what? 2. So we have 3 raised to the power what? X is equals to 3 raised to the power 2. Or 3 raised to the power 2 is 9. So what do we have? Equating indices, we have that X is equal to what? 2 as our final answer. So very easy to solve. But if you understand the rhetoric, if not, it will confuse you to waste your time. So this is all about these two questions. Just take a look at the time it took us and the space. So it's very kind of complicated. So I urge you to like, comment, subscribe, share, comment in this channel so that when I post any new video, you will get it easily and you will be kept abreast of what I will be posting.